Sometimes when I make an application for a client, then I get a message from the client like after 7 days or something, and the client is like, oh, I've not gotten any mail or something from the school. And I'm like, what mail are you expecting after 1 week? They probably not even looked at your application. That it's kind of too sudden. And I found out that a lot of people don't even know what happens after application and the types of responses that they should expect. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the things you should expect after making an application and the timeline that you should expect these responses. So if you want to know what occurs after you apply for a school in the UK, please keep on watching.
Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Cause you know I get it, not when I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky on. Getting freaky. Get it right.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and I am a University of Nottingham alumni and also a Developing Solutions Scholarship Award winner. In this educational series, I talk about the UK admission process, I talk about the UK visa application process, I talk about tips and tricks on how to enjoy your stay in the UK as an international student, and I also talk about tips and tricks on how to earn more money as an international student. So if you like videos such as this and you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by its side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now before we get into this video, I just want to remind you that I offer some UK educational services. Right now I only have the UK admission package, and this package comprises of me curating courses and schools that best fit you, helping you to write your SOPs after consultation, and also helping to write your academic CV to increase your chances of getting an offer. And then I will help you with the application process to make sure that the process is as smooth as possible and increases your chances of getting an offer. Now, I have only 2 packages available, and it's dependent on your educational background and professional experience. Now, if you want to use my service, please send me a mail to the email address on the screen. If you don't have your documents complete, please don't send me the mail because I would not respond to your mail. Please, when sending the mail, send all your documents and also give me brief details of your background and your intended course in the UK so that I understand where you're coming from and know if you fit into my clientele. Then I will send you a message and let you know what is involved while working with me. Now, you can also join the Telegram group. The Telegram group is where it is. You get real-time information as it is occurring. You get information that would help you take advantage of some opportunities and also help you avoid some issues. So if you want to join the Telegram group, the link to the Telegram group is in the description box. Please check it out and join. When you join the Telegram group, you're going to be restricted for a couple of days so that you can catch up with the information shared in the group. Please check out the pin messages, read them, watch the videos and everything. Then if you also want to use any of my service, please send me a private message and then we can discuss. So with all that said, let's get into this video. Previously, like when I applied for my own master's program, if you completely fit the course and you send all your documents, all the required documents, you could get an offer within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like when I applied, I had no idea how long it would take. I was at work when I saw a mail from my school and I'm like, what's going on? And then I saw you've been given an offer. I'm like, what happened? Because it was like 3 weeks and I was like, what is going on? But usually that was the time frame for you to get a response, either negative or positive, from the university after applying. But towards 2021, 2022, things changed because a lot of people started applying to UK universities, thanks to the post-study work visa that was re-implemented. Now, in this video, I'm going to be sharing the responses that you should expect from schools, and I'll also discuss briefly about the factors that can affect the type of response that you would get, and also the time frame based on what is going on right now. Now, the first response that you should expect from most schools, after applying, is an acknowledgement mail. And in that mail, they'll tell you, thank you for applying for so course, blah, 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 blah. They'll not tell you when you should expect a response from them. Now, some schools will say expect it in 6 weeks, some will say 4 weeks, some will just say we'll process your application and get back to you as soon as possible. Most times, this mail is an automated mail. So immediately you click submit the application or submit or whatever on your on the application portal in your page, you should check your mail and you would see that acknowledgement mail. Now, some schools don't send acknowledgement mail, so you might not even get anything like acknowledging that you've applied. Now, for MMU, that's Manchester Metropolitan University, when you start your application process, they will send you, after a particular point in the application, they will send you a mail with your MMU ID. But after you've made the application, they don't send anything. They know they sent. So if someone is applying for you, you might not even know when the person has applied. You might know when the person has started the application process, but you might not know when the person has completed the application. But there's always a link that you usually send to my clients so that they can check and see that have applied. They can also use it to monitor their progress, like, because on MMU's site you can see that your progress, because that's also where you are going to accept if you get an offer. So I always send them the link, because sometimes they don't know the link, so I send them immediately I finish the application. I send them the link so that they can be monitoring their application, and if they get an offer, they can accept it. So the acknowledgement mail might be sent for some school and might not be sent, and it's usually almost immediately after you've submitted your application. The next mail or response you might get from some school might be to upload some extra documents. Now, some schools have different policies. Now, a school that likes you, likes everything, check the documents that you have and everything, and feels that you are a good candidate for the course and for their school, even if they need something extra, like maybe your passport or CV or something, they might give you a conditional offer if they like you. Now, some other schools, if you've not uploaded your passport or your certificate, maybe you uploaded a statement of result or something, and you've not uploaded the certificate or your passport or one document that they need, and maybe they are considering you, they might tell you, oh, you need to upload this document and you need to upload it before this deadline so that they can fully assess your application. When those kind of things happen, they are considering you, so they are giving you a time frame for you to upload. Now, if you don't upload those documents, there's a possibility that they will put your application on pause and will not give you the offer. So it also depends on if it is the end of the application process or there is a lot of applications that they've received. When that kind of mail comes, you're supposed to try and look for the document on time, because there's a possibility they might give you the offer after you've uploaded what they need, and there's a possibility that they might not give you the offer depending on what is on ground. I have a particular client that I applied for a course and they said they need like 2 documents. It was able to upload 1 document because he was able to get the document quickly. He had been on the process to get the document, and at that point that they sent me, he had already received that document, so he was able to upload it. Now, the second document, he has not been able to get it, and they first gave him a deadline. He was not able to meet that deadline. Then they now extended it to another deadline, and I'm like, they want you. You fit into their student profile, they want you, but they cannot process or give you an offer without that document. Now, that same school has given another of my clients an offer, and he had 1 document that is missing, but that is a document that they can easily overlook. But his own case, they said they want it for something. So now he has the second deadline to meet and try and get that document. And I feel that when he has uploaded that document, he will get his offer. Some schools say send the document before they can proceed with your application, before they can proceed with processing your application. Now the thing is, when that occurs, it delays your offer. Like for the other client that I mentioned that he has been told to send two documents, I've made that application is like going to 2 months now because of the delay. Which is why I'd say send me all the documents that I need. If you don't have all the documents, please don't approach me at this point in time, because it will not only cause a lot of problem, it will delay your application and it will delay your offer, which would delay how fast you can go with the next step after getting an offer. So if he had uploaded all his documents at that time, or if I had uploaded all the documents that he needed at the time of application, he should have gotten an offer, and he should be on the second phase of paying deposit. After deposit, he'll be waiting for cash. But now he's still even looking for the document to upload, and then they are also considering if he uploads it late and the class is full, definitely he's not going to get an offer, or he might get a deferred offer. So that is why I always say upload all your documents. So that's a response you can get from some schools. Some schools will even give you the conditional offer. Some schools are not like that. They like you. If it's just 2 documents that they need, they will give you the offer, conditional offer, and then they will tell you that you have conditions that you have to fulfill. And then when you now fulfill, they might now say that you've secured your space completely, or give you a conditional offer. Another response that you can expect from school is either you get a positive response in the case that they give you either a conditional offer or an unconditional offer. It depends on if you fulfill all the conditions or if you upload all the documents that you need. For some schools, they have conditional offer, then unconditional offer. Some schools have conditional offer and then you go to secure your space. For some students, if you fulfill all the conditions, they might just give you straight unconditional offer. Now, the process to give an unconditional offer or conditional offer differs from all schools. Now, for NTU, that's Nottingham Trent University, they usually don't give unconditional offer. All offers are usually conditional, because one of the conditions is to pay your deposit. So even if you have extra conditions that you have to fulfill, like maybe you didn't upload your passport, international passport, it will be part of the condition. Maybe you did not upload your scratch card, WAEC or NECO scratch card, or your NECO or WAEC certificate. It will be part of the certificate. It will be part of the conditions that you're supposed to fulfill. But the major condition is usually for you to pay your deposit fee. And once you pay the deposit fee, they don't do unconditional offer. They'll just tell you secured your space and the rest. Now, for University of Salford will give a conditional offer. And one of the conditions is to pay the deposit fee of the £5,500. Now, even if you don't have any other extra condition that you're supposed to fulfill, that is one condition that you must fulfill. Now, after you've paid the deposit fee and you've sent them the proof of payment and everything, some days after, they'll tell you they've received it, and then they will now send you an unconditional offer. Now, for Sheffield Hallam University, they also have conditional offer and unconditional offer. Now, if you send all the documents that they need during your application and everything about you is on point, they will give you straight an unconditional offer. But you have to pay your deposit, and after you pay the deposit, you send them the mail with your proof of payment, and after some days they will tell you, oh, they've seen it and everything, so your space is secured. Then whenever they are giving cash to get your cash, but if you have some documents that are outstanding, they will first send you a conditional offer. If you fulfill the conditions, they will now send you an unconditional offer. So this conditional and unconditional offer differs in each school. So I just gave you an example of how it occurs in different schools. because I see a lot of people comparing the conditional offers and unconditional offers of different schools and assuming some things that occur in a particular school occurs in another school. Everybody has their own rules, their own ways of doing things. Now I have a video where I talked about the factors that might influence you getting an unconditional offer or conditional offer, or even a negative response from the school. Please check that video. Is where I talk about all the factors that are affecting whether an international student gets an admission or not, especially at this point in time that things are getting a little bit competitive. So please check out that video. Now the next response, I've already said it, the next response that you might get is a negative response, and that is the truth. Now a lot of my videos I've talked about how to apply to get a positive response, how to apply to get an offer. Now, if you apply for the wrong course, if you apply at certain parts in time, if you're not adequately qualified and you apply for a course that is out of your qualification, if I can say that, you are probably going to get a negative response. Because schools will want the best student for their courses, so they are going to scrutinize your application. And there are different things that they use to assess students, and there are different factors that affect you getting a positive or negative response. Like I said, I have a video where I talk about the factors that are affecting international students getting an offer at this point in time. So please watch it so that you know what to do and what not to do. Now, so negative response, you might get it if you don't do what you're supposed to do at the right time, at the right place, in the right school. Every school has their level of scrutiny. Now, you might apply to a particular school and get an offer in a course, and then apply to another school with the whole documents and probably your tweaked SOP, and you might not get the offer because they have a different way of measuring students. Now, the time frame for you to expect either a positive or negative response varies, and it depends on the school, it depends on the time of application, and a lot of other factors like the amount of application, if you are highly qualified, if they want to consider you for second batch, or if you are put on a wait list, and if you are looking at other applications. So it could vary from between 24 hours, yes, to like 3 months, yes. Two major factors that affect your that affect the timeline or time frame for you to expect a response are the school and time of application. Now, usually if you apply early, you should expect that you would get an offer early. Usually most schools will be like 4 weeks to 6 weeks. I'm talking about this time. Previously 2 to 3 weeks. But if you even apply early, like for January intake, this time period is applying early, but because they are concentrating on September intake, a lot of times they don't usually process January intake till like end of June or July. But I still tell people to apply early. Why? Because they usually do a first come first serve kind of process. So the first applications that are made are the first applications that will be assessed. So if they start processing the applications for January around end of June and you applied in May, you are probably the first set of people that they will give an offer. And remember, if you watch the videos where I talk about the factors that affect you getting an offer, the earlier you apply, the more space that is available. So if you apply early and they process your application early, because if they have a space size, or they have available spaces that are up to 100, it will still be 100 at that time. So they could say, oh, they will give you an offer, they will give you an offer because they still have 100 spaces. But if you apply late and they have like maybe 20 spaces, the amount of scrutiny for the application process would increase because they only have a few amount of spaces left. Another thing that affects the timeline is the school. Now, for University of Salford, they pride themselves on giving a response within 5 days of application, and that is because if you've watched most of my videos where I talk about University of Salford, they have limited time frame for application. So when they open an application process, it is maybe on or open for like 2 weeks. Once it's 2 weeks, like they've closed it. They don't open it for months, except maybe the September intake. And if you apply late, you might not get an offer for September. But most times they open the application process for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They don't do months. So once they have had the amount of successful candidates that they need, they even lock up before the end of the deadline. So they might tell you, oh, it's on from June 5th to June 22nd or 26th. But if they get all this, if all the available spaces are taken by June 15th, they will lock up. They don't waste time. They don't open the application process for long. So they try to give a response, either negative or positive, within 5 days. Sometimes it might last for 1 month. It depends on the profile of the person that applied, the profile of the applicant, but most times is within 5 days. I've had a client get an offer within 24 hours because I applied on the first day that it opened, and the person was adequately qualified for the course. That is for University of Salford. Now, some schools, I've heard some schools, it takes like 2 months for them to even give you a response. So such schools like that, if you apply, you just apply and forget about it and apply for other schools, because they take a longer time. And if it's towards the end of the application process, it might take longer. So that is a major factor in determining the time frame for you to receive a response. And I keep on saying response because it can be negative with a I'm sorry, after considering your application, we have decided we cannot give you an offer. We wish you the best of luck in your journey, blah 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 blah. And it might be positive with a congratulations, you've been given an offer after considering and after checking out your application and your documents. So these are the type of responses that you can expect after you make an application. And like I said, watch the video where I talk about the factors that can influence you getting an offer or you not getting an offer. It will help you a lot, especially with your application process at this point in time. So we've come to the end of this video. If you found this video very useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky.